Hello everyone, this is Joe with Southeastern Frontiers, and today I'm hiking to the Rippey Cabin in White Falls in the Sipsey Wilderness of North Alabama. The White Falls Trail, with a little side trip to the Rippey Cabin, is about a 7-mile round trip in and out trail that starts at the Randolph Wild Trail parking lot on the south side of the Sipsey Wilderness. Most of this trail is extremely easy, flat, wide, easy going. You start off on an old road, and when you get to the junction with the 202 trail, you split and go left onto the 201 trail, and you follow that for a couple of miles until you reach the junction of the 206 and the 209 trail. You take the 206 trail maybe a tenth of a mile until you reach the Rippey Cabin trail, and you take that to the Rippey Cabin. After that, I hiked down to the Sipsey branch and then over to the lower White Falls. There's also an upper White Falls, but I didn't make it there today. Instead, I returned by basically the same route I came, all the way back to the Randolph Wild Trail parking lot. Like I said, most of the trail is pretty flat, except for that 600-foot drop down into the canyon and back up, but it was worth it. At the parking lot, you start where there's a sign pointing to trails 201 and 202.
Parts of this trail are actually a road walk.
You see we're going down the old road here. But here we're about to depart. This is where trail 201 splits from 202. 202 is the Randolph Wild Trail, going off that way. 201 is what we want, heading off into the trees. Stretches of this hike are just a lovely walk in the woods. Very easy. Here we are at the Three Trails Junction. So that trail down there is trail 209, which leads right down to the Sipsey River and then across the Sipsey River on the other side. You have to wade through it though. Don't expect a bridge. This trail over here is trail 206, and that's the direction we're going to go today. That'll take us over to the Rippey Cabin. And then the trail we just came off of is 201, which just ends right here. Going down 206, I have come to a spot where there's a log across the trail. Felt right down between where someone had cleared a log in the past. So you can see 206 going off over there. But the trail I'm actually looking for is right here where these logs are and goes off that direction. That should be the trail to Rippey Cabin. On the way to the cabin, there are some down trees in the trail that pretty much block the trail effectively. So you got to kind of pick your way around the side of it. But then you can pick up the trail on the other side and keep going. Eventually you get to where you can start seeing the cabin through the trees. And there it is, the Rippey Cabin. Cinder block building with a tin roof and a windmill beside it. Now completely hidden by the trees here. Nice touch. All right, I guess we will give it a try. Ooh, floor's a little shaky. But obviously people have spent some time here. Oh, John Wayne, what the scout law means to me. Very interesting. Someone's left a nice map here. Yeah, based on the mouse turds on those plates, I probably wouldn't use them. A nice little book you can leave some notes in. An old bathroom back here, apparently. I'm guessing that doesn't work very well anymore. Very cool. The back porch looks pretty rotted out. That's probably why the door was blocked shut. The back door there was blocked shut from the inside.
This part of the structure is wood, so it's rotting away. The concrete blocks are staying nicely. All right, from the side of the Rippey Cabin, I am going to descend down this side trail, down into the river gorge here. I suspect it's going to be pretty steep. We will find out. This is where we join back up with Trail 209, which we passed before, and is now headed down into the gorge. So we'll hop on that and keep going. Trail 209 is just gorgeous here. It's a little trickle of water running down the rocks. And it's so cool down in these much taller, thicker trees. Looks like it's going to get steep ahead though. Careful, the rocks here can be a little slippery coming down. So now it feels like we've entered a different world. Something you might find more in the northwest than in the southeast. Tall conifer trees. You can hear running water in the distance. Lots of moss. Here is our first view of the Sipsey branch of the Warrior River. A lot of people mistakenly refer to this as the Sipsey River because it's the main stream that runs through the Sipsey Wilderness. But technically that is not its name. There is another Sipsey River in the state, so this often leads to confusion. So I'm going to try to just refer to it as the river, or just the Sipsey, but I may mess up because I sometimes call it the Sipsey River too. So this is the spot where most people ford the Sipsey River if you're going to take 209 across. You go down the sand here, down to the rocks, and you go along the edge of that little drop there, and that's some shallow rocky bottom, not muddy or anything. But you're going to get your feet wet, so bring water shoes or something. I like this sign here. It says 209 is across river, which is true. And then up here it says not 201. That's because 201 goes back that way. That's the way we came. That's 201 and 209 together. This is not officially a trail, no with any name, but this is the way to get to White Falls, so that's where we're headed. Along the way, you come to this big flat campsite. You could put a bunch of tents in here if you needed. That's pretty cool. So that's at this point, we turn and go up this side branch, this side little creek, and we head upstream, and the waterfall should be up that way. All right, here we are. Our first glimpse of White Falls. Very cool. The overhang on this falls is amazing. Check it out. This is the view from behind the falls. Oh, it is so nice and cool in here. Whew. Well, friends, that there is the lower White Falls. Pretty impressive. The upper White Falls is way more challenging to get to. Some people skirt around this ledge, but it's a 30-foot drop right down with the falls down there. I'm not going to go that way. Way too sketchy. Some people climb up these rocks right here, but I'm not feeling it today. If I was fresh and rested, I could probably do that. But it's time for lunch, and I need to be heading back soon. So today, the lower White Falls is as far as I'm going to get. I have found a decent lunch spot below the falls. sitting on a rock. Just listening to the water run by. One last look at White Falls, lower White Falls. And then it's time to head back. It's all uphill from here. You know, it may not be the big tree of Sipsey fame. Well, that's a pretty big tree, at least for Alabama. Well, here we are back at the Sipsey branch. You can see that down there. So now the trail's a lot easier going. Of course, soon it's going to turn steeply uphill. All right, time to say goodbye to the Sipsey branch. Well, here's 201 going uphill. I need to put about 500 feet of rock beneath me. It's going to take a while. All right, we have made it back to the 3 trails intersection. We just came up from there. That sign says 209 that way. 206 is that way. That's how we got to Rippey's Cabin. So we're heading back by 201 that way. I like how somebody has scribbled into the sign here, car, that way. Yeah, you wouldn't want to take the wrong turn, I guess. It's hot up here today. It's supposed to get up to 80-some degrees Fahrenheit today. That's pretty warm for spring. It was so nice and cool down in the canyon. All right, we are back at the road. We're almost back. So there's the sign. We just came back on 201. 202, the Randolph Wild Trail heads off that way. And we're gonna take that trail back to the car. Now we leave this little road and take this little side trail by these posts here, because the parking lot is not exactly on this old road, but a little off to the side of it. So we are almost back. I have returned to the trailhead. It has been another beautiful day in the Sipsey.